So obviously the same holds true for our community colleges, even though in these tough times they have a significant importance not only for students who can't afford a four-year institution, but for those who have lost jobs and need retraining.
Higher education is another passion that I have. You may know that currently I am very privileged and honored to have the opportunity to teach at the College of William & Mary. This is the second year that I have been teaching at that wonderful institution where there's some incredibly bright young people. Higher ed in general has been cut 4 times in the last 18 months. Their budgets have been reduced back to levels that are 5 and 6 years ago. It is very, very difficult in higher ed. And while I am going to be a fierce advocate on behalf of no further cuts to higher education, I think that we have to treat the community college system differently than the four-year institutions. The community college system is, in many instances, the threshold for students to go from a 2-year institution to a 4-year institution through our articulation agreements. Students are driven to community colleges for a number of reasons, not all of them academic. Some of them are just that they don't have the financial resources to go to a 4-year resident institution. Consequently, they can stay at home, take courses at the community college, still live at home and work on a job. We have got to protect the community colleges against any further cuts. Community colleges also is where there is an enormous inventory, if you will, of students who want to go to college. You've heard of the program that Governor McDonnell has been promoting about granting an additional 100,000 degrees. Many of those 100,000 degrees are either going to start or be terminal in the community college system. And you cannot generate that many new degrees with that many students by cutting resources. It is impossible. The community colleges already function on a skeleton budget. And then you also brought up the workforce transition. That is an incredible and important program that we must sustain. There are thousands of Virginians who are out of work that need to be retrained or want to be retrained. There are those that have jobs but would like to move up in the workforce, and they can only do that through education and training that is available through the community college system. We have a marvelous community college system. We have the Tidewater Community College System, which is serving the Gloucester community. We have the Thomas Nelson Community College with a main campus in Hampton and a wonderful new campus in Williamsburg. We've got oversubscription in those institutions, and we've got to provide the resources.
And of course, the governor has emphasized the need to attract and create new businesses within the Commonwealth, and in order to do that, you need an employee workforce, and that's why education is so important.
Oh, it's so very important. Governor McDonnell campaigned on a lot of issues, but the one that would resonate with you, Woody, and myself is jobs, 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 the economy. We've got to get Virginia moving. We've got to do our best to resist this downturn in economy. And the education, the technical training is important to that. As a matter of fact, some of the economic development projects that have been so successful in Virginia in recent years, like Rolls-Royce, like the Cannon expansion in Newport News, had a component that was highly dependent upon training that was being provided through the community college system. So the community college system is linked to many of these economic development opportunities that Virginia has enjoyed in recent years.
And I believe the recently opened medical school at Virginia Tech is a result of a public-private partnership, is it not?
Actually it is. I think it's a public-private partnership with Carillion, if I remember correctly. So it's very important. These public-private partnerships are immensely important, especially in a downward economy, but they're always important. And it's very important that Virginia maintain its credibility. When we make promises to our private partners that we're going to deliver certain services and workforce training or certain economic development stimulus, Virginia's got to back those promises up. If we lose our credibility in the economic development marketplace, it is something that is very, very difficult to restore. So Virginia's got to stand behind those promises that it made.
And of course, a lot of that credibility relates to the continued AAA bond rating the state enjoys, its business-friendly atmosphere. But I know there are other initiatives going on to ensure that especially small businesses can cut through the red tape of creating new entrepreneurships.
Well, red tape is probably the middle name of government at any level. It is so easy to be critical of government, either on a state or national level, even on your local level. By nature, government is reactive, and by nature, government has certain inherent inefficiencies that no matter how hard you try, you just cannot get rid of. One of the things that Governor McDonnell has promoted, and many of the legislators on a bipartisan basis, is what can we do to cut through some of the bureaucratic red tape that is shackling the movement of some of these businesses. We've come forward with a number of reforms. Over the years, we've tried to promote one-stop shopping. Instead of having to go to 5 agencies to get 5 separate permits, can't we create an agency or an office where you could go in and get every permit that you needed? There's several reform pieces of legislation working its way through the General Assembly that would continue to promote that. It's just very, very difficult.
And I think other initiatives involve the creation of tax credits as jobs are created as well.